the game was different, right? The rules was different. The ball was different.
The Euro style is different in America.
The Euro style was a lot different than America.
That's the first time y'all seen that Euro step too, huh?
Absolutely.
Well, look, let's be honest, right? There's always a shortage of size. And so, you know, I think people will take chances on size. People will go outside of their normal recruiting realms to get size, whether that's me bringing in high school kids or whether that's universities. So those kids have a natural advantage. And then the second piece to that puzzle is skill. And I think that's for especially the European kids, and not as much in the UK, right? I mean, the skill level in the UK is not as high as it might be in Spain and Italy and some other countries. And I'm generalizing, of course. I mean, there's a number of really skilled guys in the UK, but the depth of skill is not there. I think it will be in this next generation with all these good coaches at these academies in the UK. But I think, you know, when people go outside of their normal recruiting to get kids, it would be for size and skill.
Talk about basketball, but I'm talking about growing up and becoming men. And I think when you go to America, you're all of a sudden, you have to become independent pretty quickly. You have to kind of set goals for yourself pretty quickly. You have to be resilient pretty quickly. All these things, maybe when you're at home and things are a lot easier for you, you don't encounter. But in America, you need to grow up. If you don't grow up, you're probably not going to make it too far. Basketball-wise, I just think toughness. You got to be tough.
The most important thing is character and talent, and they to me are the same thing, because if you have talent and you lack character, you're not talented enough. And if you have a lot of character and you're not very talented, maybe you can be, you know, something else, but you're probably not going to play at the collegiate level. So those things go hand in hand, and quite frankly, it doesn't matter where you're from if you have those two things at a level where you could help us win. That being said, one of the great things about international players, non-American domestic players, is in America we got 50 states and the recruiting is competitive. And you know, I grew up in Alaska, and Alaska's really recruited, and Maine is really recruited, and Rhode Island's really recruited. So there are very few secrets, you know. And the beauty of the international market, the world, is that you're not as it's not as much competition. You can spread out. You can find more niches in recruiting.
Taking into consideration the likes of Doncic, I know he's obviously big, but he validated the technical ability of the European player, like, you know, on a big time stage. And actually, if you look at the style of European basketball, I do think that the UK we tend to have more of an American style, you know, definitely. And an American style, I'm talking about the collegiate style. I think the NBA style is different to the collegiate style.
I think the hardest thing is realizing what level you're at. And I've spoke to a lot of people, and I think you get caught up thinking D1. And I mean, my sister, she's representing Great Britain. She's unbelievable. She went to Division 2 and she was still drafted by the WNBA and all that stuff. I think a lot of people get hung up, and just to be quite open and honest, I do struggle with kind of this area, because people talk about different people that have gone certain areas, and I feel it's also dependent on what you want. Do you want to go in and impact somewhere right away, or do you want to learn and do it at the highest level?
Appreciate you watching the Eurostepping.
I want to thank everybody for watching Eurostepping.
Watching the Eurostepping.
The Eurostepping.
The Eurostepping.
You've been watching the Eurostepping.
The Eurostepping.
Eurostepping.
You've been watching the Eurostepping, a great podcast show hosted by Coach D.